So BMW handed me the keys to their M1000R Competition. It's got 210 horsepower, it's got wings, and it's got more tech than Silicon Valley. So I thought, yeah, this will be easy. Okay, so I'm here with Steve Broughy and he's going to take a look at my laps of Sydney Motorsport Park and tell me exactly what I'm doing wrong. I reckon this is going to sting. So Steve.
Yes.
Tell me what I'm doing wrong, and am I actually doing anything right?
Well, it appears you were physically present.
I've turned up.
So you've turned up. That's a great start.
Excellent.
Look, I did sneak a bit of a look at some of this footage earlier.
Yep.
Let's just roll through with some of it, because I got a bit of a theme that's there that I think we might be able to show. So
this is what I want to see.
See where you are on the straight?
Pretty much dead middle of track.
What was the thinking behind you locating yourself there?
At that point, I was thinking I knew I needed to get wider on track.
Right.
I suppose I'm taking that riding from the road.
Yep.
Going start wide, finish tight.
Okay.
That was what I was thinking. Now I don't know if that's correct for track lines.
Well, it's correct in any line when you think of it.
Yep.
So the difference between a road and a track is here, you've got a massive lane.
Yeah.
So this lane here, this is roughly 3.5 highway lanes.
Right, gotcha.
Okay? But that's one lane for you.
Yeah.
See where you're positioned here?
Too close to the inside.
So you've actually made that corner, or what have you done to that corner? You've made it tighter.
Tighten it up, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing too is we get a lot of riders who come out, particularly first time on track, who locate themselves there thinking the fast guys are going to go down here, I'll get out of their way.
Yeah.
You've actually just reduced the space that they've got to pass you in.
Yeah, gotcha, okay.
Whereas if you're on the right-hand side of the track, then they've got the whole rest of the track to pass you, but now they've got to make a choice one way or the other. Let's have a look at the next bit.
I don't think I'm anywhere near tight.
All right, so see how far you're away from the inside of the track here?
Yeah, okay. Still a fair way.
All right, now, still a fair way. And now, look where you finish.
Yeah, right.
Middle of the track.
Yeah.
What's really common with road riders is, and rightfully so, they don't want to get anywhere near the edges.
Sure.
So on the track, it's a very, very different situation. So what you've done then is you've taken this 3.5 highway lanes and you're probably riding within a single lane in that space.
So what you're saying is use more of the track.
Pretty much. Yeah, and if you go through, let's just let it run through now and see what you do in the next two turns. So let's see how close you get to the inside, right? So it's still a fair way away. This is okay in the first part. The second one, you get a little bit closer here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Okay.
But now look what happens in the right-hander.
Okay, so this is turn 3.
Yeah.
I know exactly what's going through my mind at this point.
Okay.
I was so nervous going into turn 3. First time on the right side of that tyre.
Mm-hmm. But again, you've actually made the corner harder for yourself by sitting where it was you were. As a track rider, you're actually reducing your ability to get a good result because you're not using what's available to you. So that makes you harder to pass. It means that to stay on that line, so if you tried to increase speed and stay on that line, you would have to use much more lean angle than you would if you're using more of what's available to you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yeah. So, and if we look at the rest of the lap, we'll see that there's a lot of that theme. We're more comfortable in closer to the left-hand edge because we spend a lot of time there on the road.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But on the right-hand side, so if you notice on here, you'll notice that every right-hander, you're way off the apex.
Okay.
Left-handers, you're a little bit closer, but you could still be closer again.
Okay.
A racer will have their tyres just on the other side of the paint and their knee is on the curbing.
Yeah, right.
So have a look at them. See, so we're miles away from that here. One good thing, there's no sudden movements.
Yeah,
so there's no snapping of the controls, there's no really sudden movements of the camera. So you're doing everything quite smoothly and quite in control.
So how much rear brake should I be using?
That's a very personal choice. For me, I never touch the rear brake when I'm on the track. Okay. Yeah, I know other riders that use it very successfully. Yeah, so it depends on the rider. Yeah.
So I don't feel like I was on the rear brake a lot. And then when I was on it, I was noticing I was on the rear brake and I was trying to get off it.
Right.
So that was going through my head, no, stay on the front brake.
Yeah.
And just stay away from that rear brake as much as possible.
Yeah.
But that was probably
And at the time I didn't know if that was right or wrong.
Yeah.
But it just felt more natural to me to be on that front brake more so than the rear.
Well, that's the right thing. If you think about it, with the weight bias of the motorcycle, so if a motorcycle is just sitting there on a stand, what's the weight bias roughly?
Well, it should be pretty. It should be pretty balanced.
It's pretty balanced, right? Most bikes are a fraction heavier in the front.
Yeah.
So maybe 52, 53% weight in the front.
Okay.
Put you on the bike. What's the weight balance?
Yeah, well, it's going to go right to the back. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, but with my weight?
Well, look, it's actually not.
Because I should be getting my weight over that front.
Just the way the ergonomics are on the bike, when you sit on it, it will distribute the weight fairly evenly.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. Okay.
All right, so you and the bike are roughly a 52% front weight bias.
Yeah, right.
Roughly. Okay. So when you put the brake on, so let's say that bike and rider combo, to make the math simple, let's say bike and rider combo is 250 kilograms.
Yep.
Right?
You're being generous, yeah.
If you are riding along, then you've got roughly 125 on each end, right?
Yep.
So 120, 130.
Yep.
Okay? So you put the front brake on, weight goes towards the front, right? Yep. So let's say you've got the brake on at a fairly moderate clip, sort of the braking you're doing here.
Yep.
You got roughly 70 to 75% of weight on the front.
Okay.
So if you do that in kilograms, right, you've now got, what's the math on that?
You've now got 180 kilos on
180 kilos on the front.
Yeah, okay.
So that front brake is going to be stopping 180 kilos. The rear brake only needs to stop 70.
Which you know that from the road anyway.
You do.
Yeah.
So what that means is that the harder that you brake, the harder you're going to slow the bike down, the more performance oriented you get with your riding, the less the rear brake does.
Okay, yeah.
So from a track perspective, the other thing too is that, you know, there's a lot of things that you have to think about at speed.
Yeah.
And just removing that one thing for most people is a better thing to do at the pace they're going to be riding at.
So first two tips, use more of the track and just do what I'm doing with the front brake.
Yeah, and then as it progresses, then that'll get easier. Yeah, keep playing.
Yep.
So again, you're right over the left-hand side a lot.
So we're coming up here.
We're coming up to turn 7.
7, yeah.
All right. So
I was closer there.
Yeah, closer, but there was a little bit, just so on that.
So come back.
There was a little bit of an adjustment as you came in. So see that there's a little bit of an adjustment?
Yep.
Okay. So if you're making an adjustment mid-turn, what does that mean you've done wrong at the beginning?
You haven't set the corner up properly. Yeah.
Okay.
You haven't come in on the right line.
Because you're having to make an adjustment.
Yeah.
Now let's imagine that you're now using more of the track and you have to make that adjustment. It's going to create more problems.
Yeah,
so it's going to get exponentially worse.
Yeah.
So ideally, you turn the bike once in a corner.
Yeah, right.
So you turn it onto your line.
Yeah.
And the rest is just
follow through the line. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that small adjustment doesn't really hurt you at the speeds you're riding at.
What are you saying?
I'm saying doesn't really hurt you at the speeds you're riding at. But if you start increasing speed, then those little errors, they will magnify.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So I don't need a faster bike?
Not yet.
Okay, so we're coming up to turn 8.
Yep. And this is a really tricky corner because it's blind entry and it's quite quick.
Yeah.
So again, you used a little bit more of the track there, which is great. And let's have a look here. This one's one where people often make a few. Okay, so there's a little adjustment.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So I really should just be holding that line through the corner.
So
I didn't even know I was making those adjustments.
So ideally, most people don't. Ideally, when you turn it onto the line, it stays there.
Yeah, gotcha.
So here's a couple of adjustments here as well.
Yep.
So see, there's that correction.
Absolutely.
So a faster rider on a bike like that, at that turn, you start turning it in when it's still flat out.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right, so you hold it absolutely pinned.
Yeah.
You turn it in, and then just as you're getting towards the line, you roll out of the gas and start to grab a little brake. So your knee's on the ground when you grab a little bit of brake, then you sit it up. But just to give you an idea, so imagine now I'm coming in at that level of commitment.
Yeah.
And I make an adjustment.
Yeah. You're going to be all sorts of strife.
Yeah. So the quicker you go, the more accurate and precise you have to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that all comes down to experience on track, I suppose.
Well, it does, and also awareness and understanding of what you're doing. So the fact that you said you didn't even know you were doing that, but now you can see it, That's a great thing. So see where you are here?
Yep.
All right. So what you've done there is you've created an extra corner.
Right.
Because what you've done is you've come out, you've sat it up, and then you've gone in again.
Yeah, gotcha.
So ideally, even though there would still be an adjustment, you would never get the bike fully upright between those two turns. So you would exit and then just allow it to run out wider, and then you've just opened up that turn.
Gotcha.
And then as you turn the bike in, you never get fully upright. It's always at a little bit of a lean angle. Even at a lower speed, you'd still be at a little bit of a lean angle.
Okay.
The fast guys, their knee only gets that high off the ground.
Pretty much
Between
the whole
those
time.
two turns. So they turn, then they run it right out.
Yeah.
And then it's only just a smallish adjustment to get it back online. So what's happening there is you're creating more control actions that are unnecessary by not using what's available to you.
Yeah, right. So to improve my my lap times, what are your top 3 tips there?
First thing I would to use what's available to you.
Yeah.
I think it's not only going to improve your lap times, it's going to make you actually safer because it gives you more margin for error.
Yep.
For one. For two, I would just take a look at what speeds you're getting to and from, which again becomes easier when you've got more space. So our sense of speed is determined by a sense of space.
Yeah.
So out there on the front straight, 100k an hour is slow. 100k an hour in this room would be very fast.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So by having more space, then the speed will just come with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I would be clearer on where you want to be, and then you can make just the one decisive change rather than making adjustments. And if you look at where your foot position is, so where you are, you've got the foot peg on the arch of your foot.
Yep.
And then you're doing a thing we call duck footing.
So sticking my feet out. So should I have my toes on the peg?
The ball of your foot.
Ball of your foot. Okay.
Yeah. So, because what's going to happen there, and particularly as you're starting to get out that way and then let your leg come out, which is not wrong, but it brings your foot out as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so what's going to happen is as you start to go quicker, that's going to touch the ground.
Yeah.
But all that's doing is most people feel that and they go, oh, that's the limit.
Yeah.
But it's a false sense of the limit because it's not the lean angle that's creating it, it's the position of your foot.
Yeah.
You also seem to be sitting quite far forward on the bike, which is a very common thing that people do, like crowd the tank.
Yeah.
It's better to actually get back a little bit.
Okay, so I suppose the reason I was doing that was my thinking was it was all to do with that centre of gravity and getting weight on the front wheel. But no, I should be coming back a bit because you're saying it is bike's pretty balanced.
So let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
So you've got your bike and you sitting on it.
Yeah.
52%.
Yeah.
48%, right? So if you sit forward on the tank, that's going to barely affect it at all.
Yeah.
But if you sit back a little bit, but
There's extra couple of percent.
but then lean your body. So most commonly, and if you look at where your shoulders are and the way your posture is, you're quite square and upright, which is great if you're on parade in the police department.
Or cruising through the national park looking cool.
Exactly, on your GS, right? So, but here, what you want to do is actually go back a little bit more, so which makes it easier to grip the tank with your legs. And then you just simply slump your shoulders. So just pretend like you're like a teenager again, right? You just slump your shoulders. And then that also, see your arms are quite straight. That then just
brings you in.
Brings the elbows in a little bit, which means you're impacting the bike a little bit less. And that could be one of the reasons why the adjustments are happening. Because it's actually almost like a bit of an unconscious thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Now that's interesting because I know that I should be slumping into the bike.
Yeah. Why did that happen?
Because I was on someone else's bike and I was probably worried about the cameras.
Exactly. So as soon as you create some sort of crises or some extra element that adds added into it. What's that old Chinese saying? Crises does not make the man, it just reveals him. So your natural tendency is to want to do that. And when I say you, I mean human beings. And as soon as, even though you might ride on the road looking perfect posture, as soon as you get something extra crisis, you revert to that.
So what you're saying is I should bring my R18 out for the next track day.
That's what I'm saying.
That'll be interesting.
So is that helpful?
That is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. You've clarified a lot of stuff that I could see, but I wasn't sure why I was doing it.
Yeah.
And that little adjustment mid-corner, yeah, that's as clear as day now.
Yeah,
that's
great.
brilliant. Thanks so much.
You're totally welcome. And, you know, if you get a chance, I know Mark rode that bike. If you get a chance, go through and compare what he did and what you did.
Yeah, done. Sounds good.
Beautiful.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
So next stop for me, well, I'm going to go back to the track to do some more practice because this is seriously addictive. And I'm also going to go off to the California Superbike School. The M1000R deserves a rider who can match its potential. And the good thing is, I'm never too old to learn.